Everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Christine. I'm here to do my weekly wrap-up and my July TBR. It's not looking good for my sister-in-law. She's starting to have problems breathing, so she's being kept pretty doped up for pain relief, so she's sleeping a lot and not eating, so my husband is, devastated, but there's nothing we can do. So last week I had forgotten to wrap up a book, and it was Mr. Imperfect by Karina Bliss. Sorry about the glare. It takes place in Australia, and I think I told you a little bit about it, but it's about a woman whose grandmother has passed away, left her a hotel, and it's hard to see, left her a hotel. I think this is what it is, and I'm scatterbrained, sorry. And left her a lot of debt, and they have to figure out how to make it work without borrowing from, I can't remember his name, him, and he kind of was taken under her grandmother's wing and kind of helped out during life because he had a really bad childhood. And the dynamic between him and his friends is hilarious. I loved it. So I'm going to be continuing, but I think I gave this a 3 or a 4. I can't quite remember. It's been a while. I did like it, though. Sometimes these romances you just want to take their heads and butt them together. It is what it is. So, the first thing I want to talk about in my wrap-up is I actually DNF'd a book for now. I read the first one, Simply Love. No, this is Simply Love. The first one was Simply Unforgettable by Mary Ballow, and the first one I didn't have this problem with, but this one, it seems that there are so many characters you're expected to know about, and I was lost. I was not getting into it. So I went back and looked at Goodreads, and apparently there's a couple of series before this that you should read that does all their stories. So I DNF this for now. I'm going to go back and read those other series first so that I can get a better handle on this one. Like I said, the first one didn't seem to be like that because it was kind of, the way it was told is you don't get a whole bunch of characters thrown at you. This one, there was so many that you had no idea who was who. So, for now, I DNF'd. And I finally finished The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out of the Window and Disappeared by Jonas Jonasson. I was so wanting to like this a lot more than I did. I gave it a 3. It had its points. Like, I laughed. There was a couple of instances that had me giggling. But I thought it'd be a lot more funnier. I don't know if I was just not the right mindset for it. Because it's easy reading. I mean, but yeah, I thought it was funny. I'm gonna read the next one, obviously, but yeah, but for those of you who don't know, it's about a man who turns 100, and on his birthday he climbs out the window and takes off. And he meets up with this man at a Greyhound station or what is equal, over in Sweden to a Greyhound station. And the guy can't take his suitcase into the bathroom because the bathroom's too small. So he ends up asking the old man to take it, or to watch it, and the old man takes it and leaves on a Greyhound bus. And it's a chase, and it's like a comedy of errors. You can't believe this stuff is happening, but it is what it is. So I gave it, I'm pretty sure I gave it a 3, because I was hoping for more. And then I finished Welcome to Harmony by Jodie Thomas, right at the last second, almost, of June 30th. And this was really good. I loved it. I gave it a 5. There was another one that I gave a 5 to. Oh, what was that? There was another book that I gave a 5 to. See, I'm forgetting about my ebooks that I keep reading. that I finished before this one. Come on. Sorry, my computer is being really slow. Made for Love. That's what it was. Made for Love by Marie Force. I don't have a picture. Sorry. But it's book 1 in the Gansett Island series, and I absolutely loved it. It was a insta-love kind of thing, but I'm one of those people that I don't care about that stuff sometimes. Because, I mean, I fell head over heels for my husband, and we've been together for 23 years now. So, yeah, because we've known each other for 24, we've been together for 23, and we've been married for 20. Oh, sorry, cramp in my back. So that one was about a girl who's a maid on an island at this hotel, and everybody thinks that she's the town whore, that she will sleep with anything in pants, and she works for the McCarthys, the parents, and Mac McCarthy, the oldest son, comes home because he's been told that he needs to be on stress leave, and so he steps off a curb, and she runs into him on her bike, and she gets really injured. Nothing broken, but quite a bit of. Oh wait, did she break her? No, she scratched her hand really badly, and she gashed her legs to the point where she couldn't walk. It was so painful. So he decides that he's going to take over her shifts at the hotel, much to his mother's anger. I didn't like his mother too much, and there was another person in there that I wasn't a high fan of, or her sister Tiffany. So yeah, I love that book. It was awesome. So I'm going to be continuing, definitely. And now that I have an e-reader that I like using instead of my tablet, that'll be no problem. Because if anybody can tell me why sometimes the Kobo tablets will not download the Overdrive books, can you let me know? Because it's like hit and miss. Half the time they'll download, other times I'll get an error saying there was something wrong. I don't know what's going on, but I've tried closing Overdrive and redoing it, and like relogging in, and I don't want to do factory reset because then 700 books are gone, and I don't want to re-download them. So anyways, I gave that a 5. So then I finished Welcome to Harmony by Jodie Thomas, and this is book 1 in the series, the Harmony series, but I read the prequel. There was a prequel that came out, and it does kind of help a little bit with the story because it tells you more about some of the great-great-grandfathers in this book. But this is about a girl named Reagan who lives from foster home to foster home, and she met up with this woman named Miss Beverly in a old folks home that she was cleaning, like helping clean. And so she decides she's had enough when Miss Beverly has died and goes to Harmony because she feels she knows the town. So she meets up with Jeremiah, who's Miss Beverly's brother, and she says she's a Truman, and which is what their last name is. And there's some animosity between the 3 founding families. I'm not quite sure why, because in the prequel, I'm pretty sure they left off fine. So, yeah. But there is a little bit of a mystery in here. There's a bunch of fires that are happening, and they can't quite figure out if they're related, or if they're being set, or if it's, just because it's dry. It takes place in Texas, so there hasn't been any rain. I figured it out, 3 pages before the reveal, so I like that. But I wasn't cluing into stuff. Reading it again, I probably would clue in. But, so I like that little tidbit. And I gave this a 5 too. I loved it. So, I believe that's everything covered now. So, going to July. I'm doing the Triple RC Challenge as usual. I'm doing the romance book bingo, summer romance book bingo from Sarah, and all the links will be down below with all the hosts and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that I never added Welcome to Harmony yet. So 7, I think I've got 7 out of 25 so far. Oh, and I have a small book haul too. Real quick. And I'll do that at the end. So yeah, I haven't gotten any lines or anything yet, but some of these books will knock off some more. And I'm not including everything I'm going to be reading for July because, yes, I have this TBR, these 10 books set, but I also like to add in, or I might change something later on. So there's that. So the first challenge for July is J is for July. Read a book that starts with J or a book whose author's first or last name starts with J. And that one, make sure I have my list here, is Forbidden by Brenda Jacks, Beverly Jenkins. This is a historical romance, but it starts with J, or her last name starts with J. I'm not quite sure. I know I've wanted to read this for a while now, but my library finally got a copy of it instead of an e-copy, so there's that. Number 2 is Bird of the Month, Eagle. The eagle with its keen eyes symbolize I know how to say this word, I just have not said it in a long time. Perspicacity, thank you. Courage, strength, and immortality, but is also considered king of the skies and messenger of the highest gods. With these attributed qualities, the eagle has become a symbol of power and strength. Read a book that includes a royal monarch, main character, any level, or a book with an animal on the cover, or as part of the story, shifters count, or a book that starts with a letter in eagle, so E-A-G-L-E. And I think book with an animal. Yeah, I chose the animal on the cover, and that's This Pen for Hire by Laura Levine, and it's book 1 in the first Jane Austen mystery series. So it's a cozy mystery. Book 3, feature author challenge, Queen of Romance, Laurie Foster, or Princess of Romance, Julianne Long. So there's a bunch of fun facts, and you can read a book also read a book set in Ohio, or by an author from Ohio, or a book published in 1996, or a book shelved as contemporary romance or urban fantasy. And I chose going with Laurie Foster because I have not read any Laurie Foster that I can think of, and that is Sawyer, and it's book 1 in the Buckhorn Brothers. So I'm waiting for that on ebook, and then let's see what the next one is. 4 is International Kissing Day, July 6th. Whether it's a quick, friendly peck on the cheek between friends, or a long, passionate tongue lashing between new partners, International Kissing Day celebrates this most enjoyable of activities and the part it plays in cultures throughout the world. Read a book with people hugging or kissing on the cover, or a book that contains double letters in the title, like, for instance, The Unhoneymooners, Meet Cute, Just One of the Groomsmen, or a book with a mostly pink or red cover. So I've got 2 of these. I have the double letters, and it's a red cover. So it's Claiming Her Billion-Dollar Birthright by Maureen Child, and there's the 2 L's in billion and the red. So, and it's the Jared's Dynasty series. So I think number 5. Oh, I forgot one. Oh no, it's right here. Duh. Okay, Embrace Your Geekiness Day, or Geekness Day, July 13th. Wellcat Holidays organized the holiday, stating that we should all be proud of the things that define us. Little defines us as much as those things we're passionate about. Read a book with a nerdy or geeky main character, or a book involving books, or with books on the cover, or a book with a proud or passionate character, your interpretation. And this book has a librarian in it, and there's books on the cover. So I picked Sleight of Paw by Sophie Kelly, and it's book 2 in the Mystery Cats, or Magical Cats Mystery. And that's Hercules and Owen. And Hercules can walk through, maybe I shouldn't say that because that kind of gives away a little bit from the first one. So this is book 2. And it's another cozy mystery that I'm obviously currently reading. I started it last night. So, book 6, Bastille Day, July 14th. Bastille Day is the common name given in English-speaking countries to the National Day of France, which is celebrated on the 14th of July each year. In French, it is formally called La Fête Nationale. I didn't mean to say that little inflection at the end. The French National Day is the anniversary of storming of the Bastille on 14 July 1789, a turning point of the French Revolution, as well as the Fête de la Fédération, that didn't sound right, which celebrated the unity of the French people on 14 July 1790. Read a book set in Europe, or a book with a 1 or 4 in the page count, or a book published in July any year, any edition. And that is, I'm going to be doing Love Me Forever by Joanna Lindsay, because it's a Regency romance, if I'm not mistaken. The Earl, yeah. So, Regency romance, obviously it takes place in England, for Europe. And Moon Day, July 20th. Moon Day commemorates the day man first walked on the moon in 1969. Yeah, we don't. Read a paranormal romance, or a book with an outdoor scene or on the cover, or a book with a dark cover. You can also read a sci-fi book because of course, there are people out there that think the moon landing was science fiction or fake news. I'm really stumbling over my words today. Alana, if you're willing to, or if we have a chance, to do J.R. Ward, Love Revenged. It's a dark cover. It's paranormal, and I need me some more buddy reading with you. So, yeah, I really want to get back to that series. I'm missing my Black Dagger Brotherhood. I think it's book 6 or 7 in the series, something like that. So, 8, Lamington Day, July 21st. Lamingtons are a sweet snack from Australia, named after the Governor of Queensland, Lord Lamington. The story goes that he was having his favorite yellow sponge cake when his maid servant accidentally dropped the cake into melted chocolate. Lord Lamington then apparently suggested rolling the cake in coconut shavings. Read a book set in Australia by an Australian author, or with an Australian main character, or read a book with food on the cover, or read a book you think is sweet, and I chose Mr. Irresistible by Karina Bliss. This is another one of the 4 friends set in Australia. She's an Australian author. It fits. So we'll see how that one goes. I think it's his name Joe. Anyways, like I said, I love the dynamic between them, the friends. So there's that. And then number 9 is International Day of Friendship, July 30th. The International Day of Friendship was proclaimed in 2011 by the UN General Assembly, with the idea that friendship between peoples, countries, cultures, and individuals can inspire peace efforts and build bridges between communities. Read a Friends to Lovers book, or a book with best friends in the storyline, or a book recommended to you by a friend. Now, I've heard so much about her, and I've heard some bad things about this book, and I'm kind of finding it, but I'm kind of not. Because what I had thought was, she knew he had a girlfriend. She kept at him. And she doesn't, in fact, know he's got a girlfriend until much later on. But once she knows he's got a girlfriend, things should have stopped. And they kind of don't. She kind of pushes him away, but he kind of pushes her away. And then they kind of, I read 55% yesterday of this book. And this is my first Colleen Hoover book. And that's maybe someday. So, yeah, he writes songs, and she kind of meets him by sitting on her porch or her balcony and listening to his songs or his music. And then he notices that she sings along, and he hasn't written words to it yet. So they kind of start up this friendship where she writes lyrics for his music. And then he kind of tells her on her birthday something that's going on between her boyfriend and her roommate. And then So she kind of moves out, and she moves in with Ridge. So the one part I like about this book, though, is the pranks that the roommates play on each other. Warren, Ridge's best friend, and Ridge are constantly playing pranks. There's one with Oreo cookies and toothpaste, and Pine Sol. So it has its fun spots, but yeah, the cheating aspect is nothing that I condone or anything else. So yeah, and his friend had made a comment about, yeah, he'll never leave her, but there's something else going on underneath. So I'm not sure what that is. Doesn't matter though. Cheating's cheating. So challenge 10 is to read any book, reader's choice. So I picked Christopher Pike's The Wicked Heart. Don't know anything about it. It's just, YA horror that I could probably get through really quickly. Yeah, so a lot of these books are quick, and it's not like I'm trying to make all these books, make sure I read them because of what's going on. I'm making sure that they're short or easy to read so that I don't need the mental capacity, I guess, for a long, drawn-out story. I think the longest book that I've chosen was Love Revenge by J.R. Ward. But since I'm so into that series anyways, it's not trying to learn new stuff or learn new characters, or I hope you understand. So yeah, anything else I read will be a bonus because we are just kind of going day by day. My husband is visiting her, but on most days she's asleep because of the drugs. And when she is awake, she's talking gibberish because of the drugs. She's not eating. She's now starting to have trouble breathing. So, we hate seeing her like this. We hate seeing her waste away. It's hard. So I haven't visited her because of the lack of. She gets very overwhelmed with a lot of people coming to visit her, and we never know if she's lucid or whatever. So my husband is spending as much time as he can with her, and yeah, so it's really hard seeing her waste away. So if you can continue to keep your prayers and thoughts that, with his family. So anyways, enough of that. I went to the library bookstore with my mom looking for Outlander because I wanted to join the Outlander read along that Sarah's hosting. And there was a copy there before when I had money. It's gone, of course. So I want to join it because I really want to read that series. But I found 2 other books instead. And the first one was Joanna Lindsey, Home for All the Holidays. I have not read this. But it's historical. It's Joanna Lindsey. She's my favorite. And I'm collecting all her books. So yeah, and it's never been read. The spine is perfect. Like, it's never been read. So yay for me. And then it's a true crime book, and it was just shoved in the wall of mysteries. So I scooped it up because I recognized the side, and it's Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil by John Brent. And I'm not too sure about the story, but I've been wanting to read it for a while, and the library didn't actually have it. So now I can read it when I'm more able to. So that is the small book haul that I've had, or that I have. There's just 2 books that my mom actually paid for. So yeah, that is my wrap up, my July TBR, and my book haul. Let's see. One. Oh, is this one? I think this is one. 2. Yeah, this book is Interracial Couple because he's white and she's black. So that can work for my, so I have 2, 3, 4, no, 3 books that are just in these 10 that will work for my summer romance book bingo. I still won't get a line, but it is what it is. So yeah, I will let you know which books I'm reading for that. And I think that's it. It's 25 minutes, so I think I'm going to go now. I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Yesterday was Canada Day. We just stayed at home. We didn't even go to the fireworks. So, but since we live in a border city, we have fireworks on the 4th. And the American ones are always better than the Canadian ones, so we'll go to those instead. So yeah, hope everybody has a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and I will talk to you soon.